Welcome to Harrison High School for tonight's war for I-74 between the East Central Trojans and the Harrison Wildcats. Paul Fritchner alongside Tony Pike. And Tony, on paper, this might seem to come across as a one-sided game, but as we know, in any rivalry game, anything can happen, and East Central is coming in here into hostile territory at Harrison. Harrison, a run-heavy team. East Central with a massive win last week. Harrison still looking to get on the board for the first time this season. Tony, what catches your eye here tonight?
It's a different style for Harrison now than what we're accustomed to, so they're trying to feel this new style, this run-heavy offense out. Years past, spread it out, throw the ball all over the field. Much more balance on the East Central side. I can tell you, though, with the crowd tonight, you wouldn't know that this is supposed to be a one-sided game. This place is packed. There's still cars filing in. An airplane just landed right across the field from us. It is if you haven't been to Harrison for a game, with the new turf, brand new scoreboard, everything that they do here is first class, and this is certainly the type of high school environment that you dream about playing in for a Friday night light.
An absolutely ideal night. The sun is shining in on us here on the booth, but there is just a beautiful night in front of us for football with a few clouds overhead, but it is blue sky for a while.
So here's the deal. If East Central gets the ball first, if you want to be a run-heavy team in your Harrison, you can't get behind early in a game, right? You can't become so one-dimensional that you got to do what you don't want to do. It's important to kind of get a stop early against this potent East Central offense.
Landon Anderson kicks it away. Ryan Brotherton receives, and he has some room to run. Up the right sideline, only one to beat. Brotherton down the sideline to the 20, 10, 5, untouched into the end zone. What a way to start for East Central. 11 seconds into the game. Ryan Brotherton with a kickoff return for a touchdown.
Well, you called it untouched. You can't get any easier than that. Great field vision, makes two guys miss, and then it's just speed outside of that. We just talked about a big play, and the offense for East Central, they don't even get on the field, and before you can even blink, East Central's got a 6-0 lead.
What a start for the East Central Trojans as Nathan McPhee back to tack on the extra point. Snap the hold, and the extra point is through. 7-0, 11 seconds in, and a fast start for East Central.
And we just talked about the environment here, right? And you're so geared up to play this game, and there's so much for this Harrison team. They're looking at the crowd. They only got 11 seniors. They're a little inexperienced. You get a little too excited. You over-pursue a little bit on the kickoff. Next thing you know, you're chasing 7 points early in this game.
Brotherton found the seam straight up the middle of the field, got to the outside part, outside the numbers, down the sidelines, and it was off to the races.
We'll talk a lot about experience versus inexperience, and East Central at their skill positions has that experience. When you don't have experience and the blood's flowing and the juices are going, you may just, like I said, you over pursue, you get out of your lane just a little bit. And against such an offensively skilled position team like East Central, that means the difference of a tackle on the kickoff and a kickoff return for 7.
Ben Smith is back to receive the kickoff for Harrison. Smith alongside Dominic Lindsay. Lindsay in the middle of the field. Smith along the right hash mark. And McPhee set to kick it away. The lefty from the far hash mark boots it deep. And that will find its way down toward the 15-yard line. And he is wrapped up quickly in the backfield.
We made the comment last week during the Lakota West and St. X game how important special teams played a role in that game. The block punt, putting yourself behind a little bit. Again, early in the season, you're so concerned about what are we doing offensively, what are we doing defensively, and then boom, a lapse in the special teams game puts you behind against a really good team early.
So now we're going to see the first offensive play of the game already, 7-0. Luke Rogers out there to take the first snap. And Rogers will give it away, trying to bounce to the left side, and really nowhere to go there on the carry for Cohen Herring.
Talk about the lack of experience at this point for Harrison. They do bring back 3 returning starters on the offensive line. So when you go into this season and say, okay, we don't really know at quarterback yet. We don't have the weapons we're accustomed to. What do we know? Those guys up front, let's build behind them.
Yeah, and Herring just a sophomore.
Yeah.
So plenty of experience to gain for him. Corey Helms down here at the bottom of your screen. Luke going to take it himself, and he is wrapped up quickly by Andrew Roy, the senior.
So you're going to see it against a team that wants to run the ball a lot. East Central is going to put their secondary players on an island. They're going to load the box. They know what Harrison wants to do, so load the box. If you get beat in the passing game, you adjust from there, but you're not going to see a lot of too high safety looks from East Central. They're going to load this box, as you see here. Put your corners on an island, put 1 safety back, and make sure you got 7 or 8 hats down in the box.
Helms down at the bottom is Rogers, who waits. And there's a flag. That'll be a fresh set of downs for Harrison. No, they're going to blow it against the Wildcats. Looked like maybe the line had jumped.
Looked like the receiver to the far side of the field got off just a little bit early. And now a 3rd and 10 in a run-heavy offense. This is what you want to avoid early in the game if you're Harrison.
Empty backfield for Rogers. 4 receivers set, 2 on each side. Rogers, the lefty, scrambling out, has nowhere to go. Pocket collapsing, trying to get out. Has a receiver, but the pass is incomplete there on the coverage. Andrew Roy, already the 2nd time we've called his name. And as Corey Helms went out for the pass, he was in triple coverage.
Yeah. Very good job there by Luke Rogers to extend the play. Usually when you do that, someone comes open. Great coverage, extended coverage by East Central. Doomsday start here for Harrison, right?
Yeah.
Kickoff return, 3 and out. Here comes a potent offense back on the field before you've even had a chance to get in your seat.
Travis Raines is back to kick it away for Harrison. And he does, end over end, a good kick. Down to the 35.
Break down! Break down!
And a quick tackle at the 45 after about a 10-yard return by Eli Aston. So now, Tony, we're going to see the East Central offense for the first time after the kickoff was returned for a touchdown to open the game by Ryan Brotherton.
Remember, for so many years, I was working with a quarterback from Lawrenceburg, and every year to start the season, it's Lawrenceburg, it's East Central, and I go to the games, and it's just this run-heavy Indiana offense, ground and pound up front. Now, all of a sudden, I look up last week, they're throwing the ball. You got a receiver with 10 catches. Running game is solid. This is about as well-balanced as you can be for East Central that you'll see tonight.
Cole Burton, second-year QB, hands it off and breaking through some tackling and getting a first down on first down. A nice run there to start things off by Josh Ringer, the junior.
Talked at the pregame show. He got hurt against Harrison last year. Still led the team in rushing. That's how dynamic he can be. And when you add that to this passing game, a lot of problems for opposing defenses.
Yeah, Ringer got hurt in week 2, came back in the playoffs, but like you said, still led the Trojans on the ground. And right now, Tony, just looks like Harrison is all out of sorts.
They're on their heels, and that happens when you get punched in the mouth early in the game like this. You've got to find something positive, a tackle for a loss, a turnover, something to get this sideline back into it.
Burton handing it off again and
Yeah.
finding a decent hole, but stopped after a short gain. Josh Ringer on the carry.
That's what it's going to have to be if you're Harrison. You have to win the battle on the line. We talked last week. How did St. X stay in that game for so long? Their front 4 won continuously. So if you want to stay in this, your front 4 have to take on those 5 and let your linebackers run free.
Trips down to the right as here's the handoff to Ringer, who breaks free across the 20, dances to the outside before he's still on his feet, almost dragged down, and now finally pushed out of bounds around the 10, making things happen on the ground. Josh Ringer, my goodness.
This is that historically ground and pound base that East Central has had for so long. Here comes the problem off that now. If you're Harrison, what's your answer? You got to bring more guys into the box. Well, this time, this team is led by Cole Burton, a quarterback that can play at the next level at multiple positions. You're going to get one-on-one matchups because you have to load the box to stop the run.
1st and 10, and East Central can get a first down. We're going to see Burton go under center, hand it off again, and this time really nowhere to go as Josh Ringer has stood up, and now it's like a helmet comes off. And a flag comes flying in. Ringer's going to have to come off.
So you're going to get a holding call there on East Central. She's going to push this ball back. So a 1st and 20 now. Talked about trying to get off your heels. This is a good way to do it. Win this first down, and you make this East Central team more one-dimensional.
7-0 after East Central returned the game's opening kickoff for a touchdown. Ryan Brotherton taking it about 70 yards for the score. That ball now being spotted at the 21. Again, East Central can get a first down. That marker right at the 1-yard line.
So in years past, 1st and 20 makes it tough for this East Central offense. Cole Burton behind center makes it a little more reasonable.
Pass looking down toward the end zone. It's up and it is caught. What a touchdown for Ryan Brotherton. There is a flag on the play. We're going to see who it goes against. And still waiting on the call. From the reaction of East Central, it looks like
Come on, defense!
Touchdown.
Did they call it a touchdown? They did. Pass interference on the defense, so the touchdown stands. Ryan Brotherton with a touchdown.
So that's a little surprising because you get a 1st and 20, and then you put single coverage on Ryan Brotherton there. Great throw from Cole Burton, but that is entirely too easy on a 1st and 20 situation. Defensively, you got to keep everything in front of you. You can't get beat deep there.
Extra point. A line drive kick is up and good. Oh, it went wide right. Went wide right at the end, and it stays 13-0. We saw a missed extra point last week, Tony, in the Lakota West and St. X game that ended up coming back to be a difference maker in that game. We'll see how this one turns out, but 13-0 with 8:09 left in the first quarter.
We look at East Central in week 1. This is already a well-oiled machine offensively and defensively, and that machine has picked up right where it left off. You're now already scrambling, and again, Reed Mouse made mention to this earlier in the broadcast on our pregame show. This isn't the Harrison of old where you're going to be able to come out and just throw the ball all around the field. You want to run the ball. You can't get down by 20 points and still want to run the ball every down. This is a huge drive coming up to dictate what you're going to be offensively.
Reed Mouse on our Chatterbox Sports Game Day pregame show. Had great turnout. Great show here this afternoon. Had Rocky Poyman, former Notre Dame linebacker, NFL linebacker here in the house.
I had to count for Reed and throw the record book out 3 or 4 times during the broadcast, which is what you do in a rivalry game like this.
Throw him out. Now, East Central trying to narrow that gap. Harrison leads the all-time series 23-20. They do have one tie thrown in there. But East Central, a good start to trying to inch within 2. This kickoff coming from the 45-yard line after the pass interference on the touchdown. This will go down toward the goal line where it will be returned by Harrison. And that one is wrapped up in some late traction out there on the far side. I believe a flag's going to come in. Dominic Lindsay there on the return. A lot of laundry on the field.
A rivalry game, an officiating crew is going to come in early and make sure things don't get too much after the whistle. They're a little bit of back and forth. They're going to flag, I believe, East Central here for a personal foul. But you see something like this. This is intensity. And from East Central and Harrison, just kind of taking those punches right now. You got to punch back. You're going to get that opportunity to do so on this drive. They're actually going to throw those offsetting, so no yards gained. But you've got to match intensity here if you're Harrison.
Yeah, we're less than 4 minutes into the game, Tony, and it's already 13-0. I feel like this is a pretty important drive early to stop the momentum from East Central and try to flip the script your way.
You've got to stop the bleeding here, and you've got to do it by moving the ball and working some of that clock.
There's a handoff on first down and a nice run right up the middle by Cohen Herring.
5-6 yards, stay ahead of the chains, work a little bit clock. I mean, we're up here, we're roasting in the booth right now. These players on the field, it's a hot day. You're catching your breath on the sideline. Harrison's out here wearing all black tonight. The uniforms look sharp, but that sun is beating down. You got to let this defense rest a little bit on the sideline.
Yeah, the sweat is beating down. You can see everybody here on this side with their hands up trying to shade themselves from the sun. Sunglasses in full force on the Harrison side. Here's a handoff again on second down. Trying to push the pile toward the marker. And there comes the whistle. And we talked with Coach Rehage for Harrison, and he's talking about the emphasis on the run. And so far, that has been it. We saw one pass on the opening drive from Luke Rogers, but otherwise it has been run heavy. Picks up the first down, though, at the 32.
Here you go, East Central again. Just count the numbers in the box here. They are loading this box with 8 players and just daring Harrison to try to throw the ball.
There's another nice run up the middle. Again, it's Cohen Herring as we saw Rhett Smith there on the tackle.
You mention it all the time, ahead of the chains. What does that mean? It means that on first down, you're getting yourself 3, 4, 5 yards, and then it's 2nd and 6. And from that, you get yourself into 3rd and 2 or 3. Stay ahead of the chains in a run-heavy team, and you got a chance.
Pitch out to the right and tripped up. Right around the marker, but it looks like he may have gotten there. It'll depend on the spot, and they'll move the chains. Another first down. Keep it moving. This is that slow, methodical, plodding offense that's maybe starting to get a little traction.
You want to have this regardless. You want to have this even more when the opposing offense on the other sideline is as explosive as East Central is. Keep them on the sideline as much as possible.
We've already got more first downs this game than we did last.
Rogers handing it off this time to Cole Coops. And Coops goes down after a gain of 3.
And with those back-to-back first downs, this young, inexperienced team, you at least start to get some momentum. You start to feel good about what you're doing. You start to buy in to this run-heavy system. That's what this Harrison team needs to do. They know that the start of their schedule is brutal. You're playing for this and you're playing for the rest of the season to get this new system in place.
5:31 left in the first quarter. Clock is running. Rogers with Coops off his left shoulder. Rogers trying to go, but he is spun down quickly by Braden Roos.
Now you see East Central, their counter, their chess move is to just bring more on a blitz. It's one thing to bring 8 into the box, but you bring 8 into the box and then you shoot 2 or 3 of those players, you're committing 7 to the line of scrimmage, maybe 8. You're going to have to eventually pull one of those and try to hit a seam down the middle.
Man, loss of 5 there. Back up the line of scrimmage. There's Rogers with an empty backfield, passing again, stepping up. Rogers trying to scramble, but he's tripped up. And a tackle made by Kingston Cook.
So what makes it really hard in this type of system is 3rd and long, right? If you are a run-heavy team, the only way you're going to have sustained success is if you get in the 3rd and manageable where you can have a run-pass option. If you don't want to throw the ball and you put yourself in 3rd and 10, 3rd and 15, that's a hard day's work against a good defense when you're still just trying to get into this new system.
They have to punt it away again. East Central has scored both times they've had the football. One on the game's opening kickoff, and then a touchdown to Ryan Brotherton on their first offensive possession. Here's Brotherton on the punt return, and he is tripped up after a gain of just 2 or 3. A couple of flags come in late. One flag around the 40, and then another around the 30. Actually 3 on the field. Great crowd here tonight. Herb,
awesome setup.
That they sold about 2,000 tickets earlier today. Knew we were coming.
Yeah.
They knew Tony Pike was going to be in the building.
This is high school football in Cincinnati, in Ohio. I mean, thousands come out to watch these games. 5,000, I think, almost last week. You're going to get Pickerington Central coming to the pit at Elder tonight. That place will be rocking. Doesn't get any better around this time of the year in Ohio.
A hold against East Central will back up that return. And now we get a chance to see the East Central offense for the second time tonight come out to the field.
If you're Harrison now, you've at least flipped the field. That penalty helps, but you now put East Central on their heels a little bit. By far their worst starting possession so far of this game. Can you keep them back there? Can you find a way to get a 3 and out and start letting that offensive line work and wear down that East Central front?
Brotherton, Aston, and Cole Wheat up at the top of the screen, and now a handoff on first down, and just dragging that defender is Josh Ringer for a big gain on first down, a gain of 8. Oh my goodness, what a run on first down.
You haven't seen it yet, but as much is going to go at him as a runner, Cole Burton is going to have the ability to pull one of those and keep it off the edge, or that play action where the linebackers have to fill quick is going to be wide open right down the seam whenever East Central chooses to try that.
Get a quick cloud in here. Enjoy it while it lasts on the sweep. Coming from right to left and far behind the line of scrimmage. A tackle made in the backfield, and maybe that can fire up the Harrison defense. Eli Aston is tackled by Gavin Moore.
That's a player you're going to see get a lot of touches, Eli Aston, whether it's in the passing game or the jet sweep game. He's a guy you want the ball in his hands as much as possible. That time Harrison defends it brilliantly, and now you force a 3rd and manageable for this Harrison defense.
Yeah, Eli Aston had 10 catches in week 1 for over 150 yards.
So they're going to line him up in the slot here, closest to the quarterback. That's going to allow him to work against the safety here a little bit.
Passing Burton, and it is tapped away. They were indeed looking for Eli Aston, but that was nearly intercepted.
It's a really, really good job there by Harrison, the defender, to play both, to be able to play the flats and to be able to play the curl. You're going to want, if you're Burton, you just want to use your shoulders and your eyes to pull that defender one way or the other. He never looked him off, so the defender was able to guard both essentially.
That was Jaden Thompson there, and now on 4th down, East Central back to punt. Wobbly punt. It'll bounce at the 41, and it'll roll right there. That's where Harrison will start after they get their first stop of the night with 2:21 left in the game's opening quarter.
And you completely flip the field. You're going to get the ball on the plus side of your own 40 here with the chance to go get some more first downs. And again, early in the season, heat is a factor. This run style, you can wear an opposing defense down if you have enough opportunities to do it. You just can't get down by so much that you choose to be one-dimensional.
Chatterbox Sports Game of the Week presented by Bartels Heating and Cooling. 2:21 left in the first quarter. 13-0 East Central. Harrison trying to get on the board. There's Rogers, a handoff on first down. Room to run, shifty to the outside, and then finally tripped up. Cohen Herring moves the chains, a gain of 11.
Beautiful work by the Harrison offensive line. starting to get their footing a little bit on these last two drives. Great start to the drive, move across the 50.
Herring in the backfield again with Rogers. Herring will get the ball, but this time he goes for just one. And you can see some chippiness.
There's some chippiness, and you've seen this twice now. On the two biggest runs of the day for Harrison, East Central on the next play is loading the box and shooting those gaps. So if you're Harrison, you put that away of, okay, maybe this is the time we do take a shot because we know what we're going to get after a chunk play from the East Central defense.
Rogers with Herring behind him again. Rogers keeps it himself, a rollout right. Got to get it away, and he throws it just right into the turf. He was looking for Kyle Hayter. That'll bring up 3rd down and long.
That's a really good job by Lewis Gray there for East Central because he's just been fed as a defensive end. Run, run, run. And then the first play action we see, he stays home and makes a great play on the ball.
Yeah, Lewis Gray, the only returning starter over there, played since his sophomore year. Now Lewis Gray is senior.
You don't mind the shot play there, but again, here's that 3rd and long that Harrison offense wants to avoid.
3rd and 9. Rogers keeps it himself, and he won't come nearly there. He just gets 2 up the middle.
That feels like one of those calls that you're hoping to get 6 or 7. Maybe you get a 4th and 1 or 2 and you have to think about it. This feels like one of the spots on the fields where you may have to still play the field position game. Harrison's at least thinking about it, though.
You can see Cohen Herring shaking his head as he comes off the field. It looked like he wanted to go for it. The Harrison offense and the black and green will come off the field as the sun is starting to think about coming out from behind the clouds.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
We are baking up here. So is everybody else. Maybe no more than Reed Mouse to our right.
Ooh, a lot of heat radiating over here.
Wobbly kick down to the 5. This will bounce into the end zone for a touchback. 29 seconds to go in the first.
So if you're Harrison, you at least weathered a little bit of the storm on that last drive. You're getting some positive plays on the offensive side. You've got to sustain now, though. This is an offense that can take it the distance on any snap. You've got to be gap sound. You've got to be responsible in your role. That's going to be the challenge all night for this Harrison defense.
Come on, defense, do it again!
1st and 10 from their own 20. And off to Brotherton. He'll try to bounce it out to the left. And he runs through a defender, straight down.
If you're watching that on film, though, you love that finish from Brotherton because he knew nothing was there. He doesn't run to the sideline. He lowers his shoulder and goes and gets an extra 2 or 3 yards. That's the type of runner you want on your team who's always going to fall forward, always going to deliver a blow.
And knowing how to fall is such an underrated trait, right?
Exactly.
That'll do it for the first quarter on the Bartels Heating and Cooling Chatterbox Sports Game Day Show, the game of the week. We're going to step away, take a break, and be back after this with quarter number 2 from Harrison.
If your AC or furnace is struggling, turn to the experts at Bartels Heating and Cooling. Their certified technicians get the job done right the first time, and if you need a new unit, Bartels will give you upfront pricing with no hidden fees. Plus, ask about Bartels 0% interest financing for 60 months. Learn more at bartelsheatingandcooling.com. Bartels Heating and Cooling, for a comfortable way of life. Eli's Sports Bar and Grill, proudly sponsoring high school football with 3 locations in Mason, Liberty Township, and Ross, Ohio. Our 10-foot screens guarantee a great view from every seat in the house. Eli's Sports Bar and Grill, the best place in Cincinnati for sports, food, and fun.
Back on the Chatterbox Sports Game of the Week, presented by Bartels Heating and Cooling. We have Paul Fritzner, Tony White, Reed Mouse is to our right. Casey McAllister is down in the truck. Trace Fowler here as well. Whole Chatterbox family in attendance as we move to quarter number 2 and a 13-0 East Central lead. The Trojans have the football on 2nd and 6 from their own 24. They return the opening kickoff for a touchdown. Play out right, and that'll be a first down for Eli Aston.
It was just a half-yard short, maybe. Now they're going to move the chains. It is just so dangerous with a playmaker like Aston to get him the ball in space like that, because it puts you on an island as a defender. You want to fill that as quick as possible. You don't want to be on your heels trying to tackle in space a receiver like that.
Harrison trying to shift that momentum ever so slightly at the end of that first quarter. And we'll see if that carries over into the second, if they can get a stop on defense. Taking a shot down the middle of the field. A lot of coverage, and that ball falls to the turf. There were 2 receivers in the area for the East Central Trojans. Trey Homer was there alongside Brotherton.
Give Harrison credit. That's back-to-back dropbacks for Cole Burton, where he's taking a hit throwing the ball. So they haven't got to him in a sack sense, but they are giving at least something for him to think about as he drives through that throw. There he wasn't able to drive through fully because of the pressure, so the ball comes up just a little short.
Cole Burton, the junior quarterback, started all last year as a sophomore, threw for over 1,700 yards. Another nice run. Josh Ringer just keeps those feet moving.
Yeah, again, the ability from Brotherton to Ringer, they're always falling forward. And when you look at Ringer, he's a taller running back than what you normally think to see. So if he's falling forward, he's falling 2 yards ahead to give you an extra little bit for a first down.
Yeah, Ringer listed at 6'2", 195. Here's 3rd and short, the big one. Ringer trying to get there. Dragging the pile, it'll depend on the spot. But it looked like from the stretch they got there, and they won't even take a look. That's a first down.
That was about Ringer versus 5 Harrison defensive players, and he single-handedly was able to carry the defenders past the line to the first down and keep the chains moving. That was a big opportunity there for a stop for Harrison.
East Central would have had to punt out of their own territory, but instead they get a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 from the 40. Play action, deep drop back for Burton, trying to scramble, rolls out right, and finally as a receiver, a massive hit on that far sideline, and now some words after, and a flag comes in.
So you might have had a lineman down the field on the original call, but it depends if you're going to get offsetting or if it depends if both sides are going to get the personal foul. But for sure, an illegal player down the field, number 73 for East Central.
Ryan Stenger was there on the reception. Officials having a conversation over at the 44-yard line.
It's a heck of a catch on the sideline, taking a hit.
Hanging on to it.
Will it be all for nothing, though?
Still a long discussion, and we're going to get the call. Well, Tony, maybe not.
There's the illegal receiver.
What?
So offsetting on the personal fouls.
And with the legal man downfield, that'll back up East Central. 10:45 left in the second quarter. 13-0 Trojans with the football.
And you just think the importance of this drive, 2 scores, you feel like you're right in the game. It gets to those 3 score marks, you start to kind of get away from what you want to do just a little bit.
And Harrison will get the ball in the second half. Here's Burton again passing, taking a shot down the right side of the field. As a receiver, hits Brotherton in stride, and he's pushed out of bounds around the 15. A massive chunk play for the visitors.
How about Ryan Brotherton in this game? But again, 1st and 15, way too easy to get a defender down the field. The unsung hero there, that's Josh Ringer, because he picked up the blitzing linebacker perfectly. And that time, as opposed to the last, Cole Burton's able to drive through his throw, and that's why you see him connect instead of leave that one just a hair short.
Brotherton with 3 catches for 88 yards and a touchdown last week, already a touchdown this week, and now slipping in the backfield and being tackled for a loss. There was Trey Omer.
Looked like Burton was just a little bit in between of what he wanted to do there, and anytime you throw that quick type of hitter, that ball's got to be on the upfield shoulder because your momentum now starts going back. You got to get upfield. Disaster from the start there, and good pursuit from this Harrison defense.
Tony, did you bring the sunscreen?
Man, I am baking currently. I thought sitting down would help.
Burton handing it off to Ringer and lowers the shoulder for 3.
A good adjustment there by Harrison. That time, not playing up and aggressive on the receivers, playing depth and saying, look, if you catch it in front of us, make a tackle. Cannot get beat over the top in these types of situations.
9:38 and counting in the second quarter. 3rd and 15 for East Central. We've seen them convert. Burton will drop back to pass. Stepping up in the pocket. Now he's going to try to run for it. Down to the 15. He's pushed out. Did not get there. Came up very short. Now, for East Central, had some success on offense.
It looks like they're keeping the offense out there.
I don't hate this.
This is a decision based on 2 things. 1, you trust Cole Burton. 2, you trust your defense that if you don't pick this up,
absolutely,
to come back out there and get you the ball right back with a 3 and out.
Trips out right. Ringer off the right shoulder of Burton. He is looking right. Coming across the middle of the field, but there comes the flag as Trey Homer was pushed down. Assuming this goes against Harrison, it'll be a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, Trey Homer was essentially tackled before that ball left the hands of Burton. It's going to be an automatic 1st down for East Central.
I'm no expert, Tony, but
yeah, that was one of the easier calls you can make. He just way too early and didn't even try to hide it, essentially. That was a full-on tackle about 12 yards down the football field.
That ball's going to be spotted at the 8-yard line with 8:59 to go.
It was still 4th down, okay.
Still 4th down.
Still a chance now for this Harrison defense, but it does bring the running game clearly back on the table for East Central.
Burton with that hair poking out from just underneath his helmet. Going to roll out right. Has a wide open Josh Ringer in the end zone for a touchdown. He got lost around the edge, and East Central goes up by 3 scores.
I get lost at times watching the drop from Burton. Are you going to get a penalty here? False start.
That wipes it off.
Josh Burton really doesn't define his drop, but when he does get the foot in the ground, that ball is ready to come out. But it does when he gets his momentum through it. A lot of good things happen.
And now here's the decision.
Our third 4th down attempt.
They're going to keep Cole Burton out there. Try it again.
Let's go, Dean! Big stop! Come on!
Backed up to the 13-yard line. Ringer just a step behind Burton. Aston and Brotherton out to the right. Burton looking to Brotherton, floats it into the end zone, and it is incomplete. Good coverage there on the far side of the field by Jaden Thompson. And there is the 4th down stop for Harrison that they needed.
It's really good coverage, a good opportunity, but you put your guy on an island, he comes through on the 3rd attempt, 3rd time's a charm for this Harrison defense, and
they get a big turnover. Perhaps some of that momentum that this offense desperately needs.
Now Luke Rogers going to go back out there to the field. Tony Luke was a wide receiver before they switched him over to being the quarterback of this Harrison Wildcats team. Wanted the ability to run the ball.
Yeah, the ability to be a dual threat quarterback. Rogers has impressed with his passing as well, but they're going to continue to be a run-first team.
Nice pickup there on first down as the Wildcats look to get on the board for the first time, not only tonight, but for the first time this season after Harrison was blanked by Wyoming last week, 35-0.
That's another good Wyoming team where the CHL will run through Wyoming again this year. But you just got to you need to cross that line just for belief.
Yeah.
You got to start believing in this new system all the way.
Rogers hands it off to Herring, and he runs into a whole host of Trojan defenders. Good uniform matchup tonight. Red and black.
Beautiful.
Against the green and black.
Terrible sun matchup.
Yeah, the Sun Monster is just eating us alive.
And as Reed just reminded me, a rivalry game like this, you throw everything else out the window.
Throw the record books out, right?
Gone. Who cares?
I haven't seen a record book all week.
Nope. They threw them out on I-74.
Yeah, certainly not seeing one tonight. 7.5 to play in the second quarter. Rogers faked right. He's going to go left. Here's the pile. Carrying that pile toward the first down marker. And
fourth down.
He'll be right at it. Do you take a chance here? Oh, they're going to move the chains. Look like you got a good spot.
Yeah, I thought it looked like the official on the far side signaled fourth down fairly early there. But credit that whole Harrison offense to push the pile to get that first down. And again, extend this drive just a little longer.
Yeah, only 11 seniors, like you said, Tony, on this Harrison team. Just a lot of these guys, even the seniors, playing for the first time. Not a lot of experience. They knew these first 3 games on the schedule were going to be really tough.
That's the tough point because you're buying into a whole new system at this point in your career, and it hasn't worked yet. You get blanked week 1. You haven't scored yet here tonight. For the players to fully buy in, you got to start seeing some of the fruits of that labor.
Coach Riage saying that the O-line was where they wanted to hang their hat.
These second longs are so vital to avoid the third and long for a run-heavy team like this.
2nd and 9 right here. Toss out to the right. And another short game for Cohen Herring. And here's, like you said, the 3rd and long.
Okay, there's some hitting going on right now. These guys for East Central, the back end of this defense, are flying up to the ball. And I know you have it in the playbook to essentially work some type of play action off this. But with how fast East Central is flowing to the ball, you've got to work in a misdirection. You've got to work a play action shot down the field at some point.
Corey Helms up at the top of the screen. Rogers keep it himself, and he's not going to go anywhere on 3rd down.
So there's a little of that misdirection, but you just showed that play on the previous 3rd down. That time, East Central stays home, and East Central's defense delivering. Their coach goes for it on 4th down, deep in the red zone when there's points to be had, because you trust that your defense is going to come out and force a stop and get the ball back to your offense.
3rd and 5 to 4th and 3. Still trying to make the decision here with 20 on the play clock, and they're going to punt it away. I think this is probably the right call.
Yeah, backed up this far into your own territory. And again, it's still a 2-score game.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to just gift East Central some points. 2 on the play clock, though. And they're not going to get this
They were
off.
going to give them a couple seconds to snap it, but that just became too much.
Back it up 5 yards. They'll kick it now from the 25.
So here's the dangerous aspect of this. East Central has had 2 guys back all game. Now they have just 1 guy back, and that 1 guy is Eli Aston. So you want to get the punt off, but it's been such a line drive early that you're going to give Aston some room to run.
Short kick, wobbly, and it'll roll to the East Central 49.
Or just don't kick it to him.
That's probably
That's
the
a
better
smart
play,
move
right?
as well.
You can hear some groans from the crowd, but honestly, probably a
better
good kick,
outcome
yeah.
than if you do kick to a player like that.
So from the Trojan 49-yard line with 4:31 left in the second quarter, Paul Fritchner alongside Tony Pike, the Chatterbox Sports Game of the Week. We had a great one last week, Dakota West and St. X. That hit, Tony, that Malik Hartford leveled in the fourth quarter, last I checked, had about 5 million views.
Yeah, a lot of fans up north there in Columbus got wind of that hit and had a field day sharing it around.
Throw out to the right to Eli Aston. Shakes a defender across the 30. Room to run down the sideline. Aston to the pylon. Touchdown. East Central with 4:20 left before the half goes up by 3 touchdowns.
Well, 1, that's why you don't punt to him. And 2, that's the play in space we just talked about. You swing it out to Aston, and as a defender, if you don't come up and shoot right away, if you wait, Eli Aston's going to go right around you. He does so there. As soon as he gets the outside, no one's going to catch him. A huge momentum play in this game for East Central.
And Aston wasn't able to do it on the punt return, didn't get a chance. Now they're going to run the reverse.
The Philly special.
The Philly special out to the right for the 2-point conversion, and they do. Cole Burton was waiting on it. The pass from Aston perfectly executed.
No timeout needed to set that up. You'll run right into it. You know they've practiced that all off season.
That looks like Foles in the Super Bowl.
It absolutely does. Executed to perfection. And now it's 21-0, a 3-touchdown advantage.
Wind just comes out of the sail a little bit there. You had fought, you had got your footing a little bit, battling back and forth. You're starting to move the ball, and now all of a sudden, you look at 4:20 left on the clock. East Central's thinking, stop, get the ball back and score. Harrison's thinking, we need 1 drive, a 4-minute drive, and then score and get the ball coming out of the half and give yourself a chance. But this is a huge 4 minutes plus for the overall outcome and feel of this second half of the game.
Well, you think about it, Tony, and if Harrison can methodically drive this ball down, put some points on the board, they're going to get the ball to start the third quarter. Could double down.
The Bill Belichick method.
Absolutely.
The 2-for-1 at the end of the half. Now, that being said, you've got to avoid giving the ball back to East Central with the ability for them to go up 4 scores before the half. We already know, and we just saw how explosive this offense can be.
It does not take them long to get down the field. Kick it deep. Over to the 15, and that will bounce.
Oh.
And that was almost dangerous. I mean, Harrison didn't make an effort at that, and
no.
the Wildcats are lucky that
if
that went
that
out
ball
of bounds.
doesn't bounce out of bounds, East Central picks that up, it's their ball. Great directional kick. They just got an unfortunate bounce. But that's a play you've got to go get if you're Harrison. You cannot let that ball bounce and go uncovered.
A massive break for
huge break.
Harrison.
One bounce another way, and East Central's knocking on the door again.
Wow. Those are the kinds of plays as a coach that just drive you nuts.
Well, you already give up the kickoff return to start the game. That would have been the straw that breaks the back for the special teams side of things for Harrison.
4:20 to go before the half. 21-0 East Central. Here's Rogers handing it off on first down, trying to bounce it to the outside, and 3 East Central Trojans there to bring down Cohen Herring.
But on the positive side, you get excellent field position to start this drive. Kind of jealous of these players right now who are now playing in mostly shade.
You think it might be down below the horizon by the start of the third quarter?
One has to hope so.
Oh, my goodness. Less than 4 to go in the half.
Start bringing a couple change of clothes, sweating through everything. Empty out the backfield a little bit here.
2 receivers each side. 4 on the play clock. Lefty Rogers taking a deep shot down the sideline, and nobody home.
So that's more of the thought in the 4-minute offense, to let the play clock work down. But of course the problem, as we see now, when that doesn't work, the play clock is stopped, and you've now got a 3rd and 8 with a very dangerous offense waiting to get the ball back.
And here's the other thing, Tony, is that, like you said, you didn't want to give the ball back to East Central before the half. And barely any time it has come off the clock. Hasn't even been a minute on this drive, only 50 seconds. Rogers flips it over the middle into the flat, and nowhere for Cohen Herring, who couldn't bring it down.
You can tell they're just off. They're out of sorts right now offensively. They're in something they don't want to be doing with that the must-pass situation. Even if that ball is caught, it's a tackle. It's still a 4th down. But again, as you just mentioned, not even a minute goes off the clock. You waste great field position, and you've got another dynamic opportunity for this offense in East Central to get another touchdown before the half.
Yeah, Eli Aston and Ryan Brotherton back to receive the punt. That was just 56 seconds off the clock for Harrison. This punt will go to Brotherton, and it's just going to bounce its way toward the 25 and stop at the 28. 3:13 to go before the half, and East Central would like to really put this game out of reach before the break if they can.
You know, I thought it was interesting and brought it up earlier, but in going over these notes tonight, East Central talked a lot about Cole Burton going to the line of scrimmage with 2 plays and having the ability to keep on a run or transition to the pass. That is very advanced at the high school level. So nearly every play you see, he could turn and give it to the running back, or he could check to the pass. That's your leader out there on offense.
And off on 1st down up the middle of the field for Josh Ringer. Yeah, the junior quarterback, Cole Burton, mentioned he started all last year as a sophomore, but he said, yeah, probably 50% of the time they're calling a run or a pass. They're letting him make the call at the line. They're trying to be no huddle, not necessarily for tempo, but just to keep things spread out, keep things more fluid. There's Ringer again. Missed tackles, and Ringer trying to go to the outside. He will, down to the 44, and he'll spot him at the 45.
You got all your timeouts left. Over 2.5. You're in no rush here. You can run your system and your offense all the way down the field. I will say, looking at how Harrison is defending this 3-by-1 formation, if they can just hit a swing pass out here in the flat to Eli Aston, who's in the slot, if those receivers make a block, it's a touchdown, and he's probably untouched.
Ringer just back to the line of scrimmage. Coach Reinders was talking about Cole Burton, difference from year 1 to year 2, that they had a full off season knowing that he was going to be the starter to work with him, and they broke down all of the coverages that he was going to see this year, game by game. And not just those coverages, but how those coverages affect the rest of the defense and how things play off each other. Here's Burton taking another shot down the right side of the field. Has Brotherton in stride. Yet again, a touchdown. Brotherton just keeps on moving. And the East Central Trojans can't be stopped. A 4-touchdown lead for the visitors before the half.
Well, that time you get a cover 3, and the corner's job in cover 3, you can't get beat deep, but it's what Burton does on his drop. He looks the safety off to the left, so he comes back and he knows that all he has to do is let Brotherton beat his man, which he has done. You've got Brotherton as a deep threat. You've got Aston to hit underneath. That is a potent 1-2 attack with a great running game and a great quarterback for this East Central offense.
Extra point is good for the Trojans as saw Nathan McPhee knock it through. 28-0, 1:48 to go, and we're going to take a break on the Bartels Heating and Cooling Chatterbox Sports Game of the Week.
Hold on, I'm coming. You didn't tell me you were getting McDonald's.
The steak, egg, and cheese bagel is back at McDonald's. Order ahead on the app and pick up curbside.
Check out our fresh arrivals at Jake Sweeney Used Cars. Over 250 used vehicles weekly. All makes, all models. From economy to luxury, Jake Sweeney, the original used car superstore.
Last time Harrison had the football, they just possessed it for 56 seconds before giving it back to East Central. We could see a situation here where there's a running clock before the half if East Central isn't able to pick up a first down, and East Central, or Harrison rather, can't pick up a first down. East Central has all 3 timeouts remaining.
Again, there's no pulling off the dogs here. This is a rivalry game. You're going to try to do whatever you can.
Deep kick down toward the goal line. He's going to have to pick it up. Return out across the 5. Now a good return. A big hit.
Laundry everywhere.
Cohen Herring picking that one up. Again, hesitant to pick
Nearly
up the
disaster again for the Harrison special teams unit. So here's now your fight for the rest of this half and the second half. You make this change. You go away from your pass-happy offense. Week 1, you get nothing from it. You're down 28-0. You're going to become one-dimensional. How are you getting these guys in the locker room at halftime to buy in, to not roll over, to continue to fight, and know that there is light at the end of this tunnel? It's just you start with Wyoming, who's a great opponent, East Central. Both of these teams are going to try to make noise and win state championships.
Absolutely.
Perennially, that's what they do. So you know it's going to get easier. You know it's going to get better, but you have to keep that fight in the second half if you're Harrison here.
Lakota West right now up 28-0 over Lakota East.
It's like Mason up 14-0 over Hamilton Big Blue, what they call them, the Hamilton Big Blue. Wonder if Reading scored 70 yet again this week, like they did last week against perennial powerhouse Laughlin. Reading all the way out in Talawanda tonight, a different area code. They left Wednesday to get to that game.
Timeout taken here by East Central. 1:35 left in this second quarter. Middletown right now playing Fairfield, and Fairfield up 22-7. But Lakota West up 28-0 over East.
Hamilton undergoing a coaching change, trying to catch their footing early in the season. It's so hard at this level to lose a coach or to go through those changes and then just pick up right where you want to leave off.
Run out to the right for Rogers on second down, and now you're going to get another timeout from East Central. That only took 8 seconds off the clock. I think East Central is going to try to do exactly what we were talking about to preview this drive.
Yeah, they want to take away all life of Harrison here in the second half.
Timeout taken by the visitors. Both teams will head back to their sidelines. 1:27 left in the second quarter with 28-0.
Mentioned the, was it the 2002 state championship rematch happening at the Pit tonight? Elders up, I believe, 17-0 right before the half on Pick Central.
And Fairfield was up 15-0 at the end of the first.
Reading in a dogfight on the road at Talawanda, leading 7-0.
At the half.
Again, you go out to Talawanda, you leave on Wednesday, you get adjusted to the new time change, you practice there on Thursday, get your legs under you. There's a couple days of school going out there.
Absolutely. It's the trip of the year.
Well, Reading putting up 74. Their average will drop a little bit here in this game, but
I think so.
No doubt the Blue Devils will find their footing.
The water finds its level.
Yes.
3rd and 8. Rogers going to pass over the middle of the field, has a wide open receiver and a big first down that shifts the momentum of the half. That was Brian Guthrie on the reception.
Really the first time he's looked comfortable tonight. 3-step drop, hitch up, find a receiver over the middle. Great for the confidence at the end of the half here. Now maybe they go tempo a little bit and try to go get some points.
70 seconds left. Rogers will pass again, taking a shot down the side, but it's overthrown. Was looking for Dominic Frondorf on the far side.
So you come back from such a nice route concept, you run the defense off, you get the dig coming out underneath, and you follow that up with just 3 verts. East Central knows one thing right now on the defensive side of the ball: don't get beat deep. If you're going to beat the ball, beat them down the field, it's going to be the underneath, it's going to be the middle of the field. It's going to be very hard, down 28 points, under 2 minutes left, to beat them over the top. You got to take those chunk plays over the middle.
The other thing that does too is stop the clock. There's Rogers run out the middle of the field, breaking through. Rogers down the middle of the field, nobody to beat. Rogers a touchdown with 52 seconds left in the first half. For the first time this year, Harrison is on the scoreboard.
Or you just do that. Allow your quarterback to run up the middle. How about an untouched quarterback draw up the middle, needing it the most? We're here talking about East Central is going to try to score again. Harrison gets the score, and now the opportunity to get a stop and get the ball back coming out of the half.
Could be a big swing in this game. And Luke Rogers taking the ball all the way down the field himself. Extra point, short, and just barely over the crossbar.
Wow. Which might be all it takes, right? You see a nice pass completion, you get a little confidence. Sideline and the crowd are back alive here for Harrison right before the half.
That was the best Harrison had looked all night.
Yes, the 2-minute up tempo. I don't know if that field goal's landed yet. That is on a line.
That nearly.
Almost hit the new scoreboard. And it got about 6 feet off the ground.
Now here we go. Eli Aston, Ryan Brotherton back to receive alongside Josh Ringer.
You do still have this East Central offense with 52 seconds and a timeout, and a very dangerous return game, as we've already seen. These kicks, there's not a lot of hang time, which means it doesn't give your kickoff coverage team a lot of time to get down there and cover this.
Line drive kick that'll go right to Brotherton. Up the middle of the field, hesitating, now bouncing it outside. Brotherton across the 40, and he's tackled around the 41, 42-yard line.
So this will be the difference of years past. This is a tough situation for East Central. Not with Cole Burton behind center. They can go 2-minute. They can go tempo if they need to. You still got your timeout. The middle of the field is still open for you to go down there and try to get points. This is, whether the outcome of this game changes or not, for a coach early in the season, this is a great opportunity to give your team work in a meaningful 1-minute situation like this to go down and get points.
Spread those receivers. 3 left, 1 to the right. Burton will be passing. Plenty of time. Burton calling for some help. The throw comes to the sideline, and that bounces incomplete. Burton was looking for Cole Wheat around the 42.
Harrison that time goes 2-man, so they man up the receivers and keep 2 safeties deep. Now, if you're East Central and you see that with a timeout left, it may entice you to try to get a quick hitter up the middle with your running game, knowing that you still have that timeout and so much space. You look at the middle of the field here, 3 down linemen, 2 linebackers. That's 5-on-5 with that offensive line. An opportunity, if you want it, to try to run the ball.
Burton will be passing on 2nd and 10 over the middle of the field, and he throws behind Eli Aston. Had him open, though.
Yeah, that's one Cole Burton's going to want back, because if you hit Aston in stride, he's not only going to catch that and get a first down, he's going to move the chains for you as well.
Now Harrison takes one of their remaining 3 timeouts to set up their defense on 3rd down. And now it's East Central that is going with the quick offensive possession. Great crowd here tonight, expecting 4,000 or 5,000. There is not a seat to be had on either sideline in the stands, either on East Central or over here on the Harrison side.
Looking at other scores, Moeller 21-0 over Trinity. Trinity's one of those powerhouses that usually comes in. Moeller, they go to Massillon last week and win. They're dominating Trinity. Moeller just might be the team to beat right now in the state of Ohio.
Top of the table for the Crusaders.
We got Aston again in the slot. You're going to get help over the top, but if he can beat this man, he's going to find a lot of opening in the middle of the field.
3rd and 10 from their own 42. Burton out to the near side. He has Aston tackled in Wildcat territory at the 44-yard line.
See, that's just what you don't want to see if you're Harrison. The best receiver and receiving threat on the field running wide open to the flats. It's going to be a first down. I don't know if they're going to give him out of bounds or not, so you're going to have to take a timeout here.
21 seconds remaining, and the final timeout for East Central. Little Mr. Brightside from DJ E-Train.
Does the guy ever miss?
I don't think
he ever miss on a song? He's got Reed Mouse here. He's up in the press box now. Reed's dancing.
What kind of coffee did Reed have before this game? He's just been up and moving the whole time we've been standing here.
This is the most jitterish type of Reed I've ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Reed is just excited as we all are that the sun is very close to fading behind the horizon.
I think we'll be good after the half.
Yes. Again, if you're East Central here, middle of the field's open, you can still run up and clock the ball and then take a couple shots at the end zone if you want.
1st and 10 from the 44. And a pass.
There he goes.
Over the middle of the field, Aston drops the ball. Incomplete. Had it for a second.
Yeah, that's such a good pass. Aston should have had that one. He doesn't come up with it. If he comes up with that, you're going to have 2 shots at the end zone if you're East Central right before the half.
Bring it back to the 44. 15 seconds to go now. What an atmosphere. Harrison.
So Noah Schneider was slow to get up there. He's limping the left tackle for East Central. He waved off the training staff, but he is noticeably limping after that play.
Schneider, the only returner on that offensive line. Here's Burton taking a shot down the right side, and it is, oh my goodness, caught!
Incredible.
Ryan Brotherton again. Have yourself a day, young fella.
There's inexperience, but that type of miss from the Harrison D, that's unacceptable because you've got 2 safeties deep. You cannot let a throw down the outside beat you. And give credit to Brotherton, credit to Burton, because that's a great throw and catch. But that should never be an option with that too high look on defense. Great job by Burton to use his eyes to hold that safety till the last second.
Brotherton let it fly, or rather Burton let it fly to Brotherton, and it's waiting the extra point, nearly blocked. But it is up and good, and now it is 35-7. And just like that, East Central answers.
Again, valuable for this game, valuable for the future for coach to come back at any time and say, hey, we've had the ball with a minute left where we had to go score, and we did. You can draw back on that as the season goes on if you're East Central. And again, certainly a learning moment for this young, inexperienced Harrison team. But you've given up multiple deep throws in coverages where you can't. You've given up the kickoff return. A lot of coaching moments to take from this, but it still doesn't help the fact that in a rivalry game you're chasing 28 right near the half.
35-7. Harrison did score that touchdown on the run from Luke Rogers. Escaped the pocket, got through the middle of the defense, took it all the way down the field himself. That's why they put Rogers back there, wanted him to be the dual threat. 7 seconds to go.
Unbelievable first half by Brotherton, though.
How about it?
And all the eyes were on Eli Aston coming in. He's taking the show tonight.
Squib it down the middle. It'll be returned.
He didn't go down. He didn't touch the ground.
We're going to say that he picked it up with a knee on the ground.
There is no
I think it's fair to say that was a miss. That was a miss there.
Tony, I don't know about you, but that didn't look particularly close.
No, I think that was egregious on the behalf of the official.
That wasn't even
Certainly
close.
hear our crowd mic. The crowd is displeased, as well they should be.
Well, you know, the one thing it does do is it gives them one offensive play. That return probably would have run out the
Right.
half. So maybe not the worst thing in the world. There goes the sun.
Hate to see it go.
Love to watch it leave. And they're just going to take a knee. Won't try anything on the last play of the half. It'll be Harrison football coming out of the half before we take a break. Tony, any final thoughts on that first half?
Look, I just think 2 weeks in a row it hasn't gone the way Harrison wanted. What type of team shows up in the second half? Do they show fight? They get the ball coming out. Can they go deliver a punch and stay in this game at some capacity?
Take a break, and we'll be back for the second half on the Chatterbox Sports Game of the Week, presented by Bartels Heating and Cooling.
If your AC or furnace is struggling, turn to the experts at Bartels Heating and Cooling. Their certified technicians get the job done right the first time, and if you need a new unit, Bartels will give you upfront pricing with no hidden fees. Plus, ask about Bartels 0% interest financing for 60 months. Learn more at bartelsheatingandcooling.com. Bartels Heating and Cooling, for a comfortable way of life. Eli's Sports Bar and Grill, proudly sponsoring high school football with 3 locations in Mason, Liberty Township, and Ross, Ohio. Our 10-foot screens guarantee a great view from every seat in the house. Eli's Sports Bar and Grill, the best place in Cincinnati for sports, food, and fun.
Back now on the Bartels Heating and Cooling Chatterbox Sports Game of the Week. Paul Fritchner alongside Tony Pike. Reed Mouse producing to our right. We have Casey McAllister down there in the truck. And it is 35-7 East Central. It has been all Trojans so far tonight, Tony.
Well, usually a rivalry game like this, you throw the records out the window, but not the case tonight because on paper, East Central is the better team. They're the more balanced team. And from the opening kickoff, which got returned for a touchdown, to what we saw right before the half, it was dominance, and it was some unforced errors as well. When you give up the kickoff return, multiple long yardage situations where you get beat over the top, not fielding the kickoff, there's just too many things that pile on. And when the opposing team is better, more balanced, you can't give them gifts as well, and that's what happened way too often in the first half. But at least now, if you're the coaching staff, you're down 28, you're going to find a lot out about what kind of team you have here getting the ball first coming out of the half.
And so if you're Harrison here, Tony, what do you do? How do you change things up?
Well, you can't change what you're going to be because you've already went the whole offseason and bought into it, and in 6 quarters it's given you 7 points. And the touchdown came on a 2-minute drill where you were throwing the ball, which opened up your running game. But you can't just abandon it. You can't go back. You've got to continue to work the ground game and say, okay, maybe it's not winning this game, but let's win the third quarter. Let's win the second half. Get a small victory that maybe can create more victories down the road.
Harrison's going to receive this second half kickoff. We're still waiting on East Central.
And for East Central, how does your team handle the success? 35-7. Do you come out with the same intensity? Do you get a little lackadaisical out there? Do you come out and force a 3 and out and go down and reassert yourself in the second half? A lot of things that can be learned from both sides here.
Looking around some of the other scores around Ohio, Dakota West up 35-0 in the second half. Fairfield up 22-7 over Middletown, and Mason blanking Hamilton right now 14-0 in the third quarter.
I don't know if you've been to the East Central High School campus.
I have.
One of the nicest indoor facilities you'll see in all of high school sports. Their field, phenomenal out there. It is truly a complex, and they've built that program for sustained success. That's always a name you're going to hear from in Indiana is East Central.
One of the best teams this year in the state of Indiana.
I can tell you this, the East Central student section has not lost their energy coming out of the half.
Absolutely not. A whiteout over there. They are rocking and rolling. Look at them bounce up and down. Kick it deep. And here we go. The second half underway. Return. And out to the 30-yard line.
That ball may have came out.
And East Central trying to say that they recovered the fumble. But it's going to stay with Harrison.
Well, that would have spelled immediate disaster.
Yeah, we saw the game's opening kickoff return for a touchdown by East Central. East Central was up 28-0 before Luke Rogers ran about 75 yards for a touchdown.
You're not going to score 28 on one possession. You've got to take this play by play if you're Harrison and just start to see some positives.
Empty backfield for Rogers to start the second half. He's going to take it himself, bounce it outside. Here he goes again. And Luke Rogers with a first down. Close to it, right around the 41. Might mark him a yard short.
Right back to that empty set where they had success with the long touchdown run for Rogers. A little bit of over pursuit there by the edge rushers for East Central opens up that running lane, and a nice gain to start the second half.
This is the type of game that we're going to see the rest of the way. A slow, plodding game with the clock moving, all on the ground. Rogers handing it off, and this time stacked up quickly. Lewis Gray right there on the tackle.
We've mentioned Lewis Gray a couple times already. That is a phenomenal play to not only take on a block, shed the block, force the runner outside, and be the man to bring him down for a tackle for a loss.
Yeah, 3 yard
setting that
loss.
edge.
Yeah.
And bringing up now a third and less manageable, and the threat of a 3 and out to start this second half.
Yeah, 3rd and 4. Rogers looking out, and it is complete. Pass complete out to the far side. That's Wyatt Warrington there.
Confidence is going to be the key word for Rogers in this Harrison offense, and completing third down conversions, moving the chains, all those things, not only for tonight, but as the season goes on, help you to be able to draw back on those things.
1st and 10 from their own 45. Good start to this drive for the home team. Rogers taking a shot down the right side of the field, and good coverage there from East Central. That's Dylan Maxwell.
What you're seeing is Rogers is currently just predetermining those deep passes. He had a receiver open there on the flat, but because he had predetermined what he was going to do, you miss an open opportunity right there. You had Corey Helms in the flats that would have generated probably a first down. Instead, you predetermine a ball that's not there, and it's 2nd and long.
Had these long situations quite often tonight. Run up the middle. Here's Rogers shedding some would-be tacklers, and he picks up 7. Now you go from a 2nd and long to a 3rd and manageable.
Yeah, I'm looking at Luke Rogers took a pretty good hit there at the end of that play. Trying to get his helmet back configured right now. That's been their most successful play, that quarterback power that they've hit on the right side of that Harrison offensive line.
Rogers calling out the play, the whistle, and a timeout taken from Harrison. A valuable timeout with 9:20 left in the 3rd.
Well, you see that hit. Rogers looks a little shaken up. It's a critical 3rd down. Might be one of those situations where you just want to be more safe than sorry here.
Take a look back at that play.
It's a healthy hit. It's a legal hit, but it's a good shot right to the back of your starting quarterback, who you're probably going to ask to make another run here eventually.
DJ E-Train getting this crowd going down here to our left. Harrison looks to move the football on 3rd and 3. Is this a situation, Tony? Is this 4th down territory?
I think so. At this point of the game, you got two chances to get 3 yards here if you're Harrison.
Going to go to the Wildcat here. Cole Coops will take the snap himself, and a flag comes in. It would have been close, but that one's going to back up Harrison and make it 3rd and 8 instead of 3rd and 3. And again, you're just doing damage to yourself.
Yeah, the unforced errors against a very good team is a recipe for disaster. Looks like maybe a clock issue.
Trying to add 3 seconds to our clock right now.
Refreshing to see tonight a clock that actually takes every second off as it goes, and not 3, 4, and 5 second legs, which actually became a problem at the end of that game last week.
Certainly did at Lakota West last week. The clock would lag, and it went off in 3 or 4 second chunks. Here's Rogers. Good blindside protection, but it's intercepted. Picked off over the middle of the field by Carson Pitonka, and it's a turnover on the opening possession of the second half.
When you're not completely sure of yourself, you start to stare down your receivers. And when you do that, the defense is just waiting on you to make that throw. We've talked time after time after time again tonight with Cole Burton looking the defense off, coming back. That time you just stare down the receiver, the throw's a little high, and just as quick as that, East Central back in business.
And the sophomore right there on it. And now it's East Central football from the 49 and a run up the far side. And that's a run of 11 on first down. Josh Ringer, name getting called again just as it has all night.
Wash, rinse, repeat right there for this East Central offense in the second half. Ringer making up for lost time from last year.
Burton handing it off to Ringer, gets back to the line and picks up 2.
So now disaster mode for Harrison because you've got to load the box and you've been beaten continually tonight down the field over the top. So you got to pick your poison. Do you want a slow bleed or do you want the big play opportunity? And right now, Harrison continues to play it that way. They're going to give some opportunities down the field here for Cole Burton in this passing game.
2nd and 8. Burton coming over to Aston, trying to make a defender miss. And Aston finally pushed out around the 30. May have been a face mask there.
It looked like he got away with one there, but again, that right there for Aston, the brilliance there to make the first man miss, that's what you're asking him to do on a week last week where Aston rewrote the record books for a receiving standpoint at East Central. You got to wonder if Ryan Brotherton is entering that category tonight with the first half that he's had.
Yeah, Aston, 10 catches for over 150 yards last week. It's been Brotherton's night tonight. Here's Ringer trying to leap over a defender, and he's finally tackled after a first down run inside the 25-yard line to the 24.
That's frustrating right there as a late flag is going to come in.
Some frustration.
It's frustrating from a defensive standpoint because that was cover 0 for Harrison. You've got no safety back. You're loading the box on a 3rd and short, and really without any resistance, East Central gets 7 yards. So that type of play, and now you see the extracurricular after the play. You wonder if things are falling apart a little bit at the seam right now for this Harrison team who's clearly frustrated tonight. So it's a start of the season. You're home. You got the new scoreboard, the great facilities up here. Things are just not going the way you had hoped, and that frustration starting to show through a little bit.
Clock is ticking, 7:37 left in the 3rd quarter. Here's Ringer trying to go to the outside, looking for the pylon, and he's in for a touchdown.
Still think you're going to get a holding on the outside. That outside receiver, just a little too much jersey. Going to wipe this one off.
The official immediately in to make the call. That hold against the visitors will wipe off the touchdown. Would-be rush for Josh Ringer. Mentioned got hurt last year in week 2 in this game. Missed the rest of the regular season. Hurt in the first half of that game. Still ended up being the team's leading rusher. Coach called him one of the best athletes on the field, but colleges, Tony, are looking at him on the defensive side of the ball, even though East Central doesn't have him playing defense.
Just the type of player that you can plug and play anywhere, and he's going to have success.
Here's Ringer looking to cut it back. Oh, my goodness, what a run! Ringer into the end zone. A highlight reel run for a touchdown by Ringer, but another flag is on the field to wipe it off.
That's a shame that this is going to get wiped off because that's just such a great individual effort. They're going to call a chop block on Burton there. Quarterback throwing his hat in the mix as a blocker. Never a good idea from a quarterback. Just get out of the way.
Mind your own business?
Yeah. You don't need to throw a shoulder in anywhere. You got a long season still to go.
So now Tony can Ringer run for a third touchdown in a row?
I mean, at this point, we got 1st and 27 yards needed.
Just about.
You just got to try to get half of it back here.
Aston and Brotherton up to the top of the screen. Ringer on the reception in the backfield. And
Another
flag.
This one is going to be a late hit and a very late hit on Cole Burton. Roughing the passer.
3 flags in a row. Burton a little shaken up. Roughing the passer against Harrison. They'll move the ball right back down into the red zone.
Listen, this is way too much math going on trying to figure out where these balls are going to be spotted.
Not a big math guy?
Not a big math guy. Not my favorite subject at Reading High School.
What was that Reading score?
7-0 last time I checked. I'm sure Reed Mouse will be frantically checking the interweb here to see if he can give us an update.
Nobody finds scores on Twitter like our producer over here.
Oh, it's been incredible.
It really is.
It's been incredible.
Dancing across the keyboard.
Like a young Elton John here on the keyboards.
Absolutely. Here's Ringer. This time can't escape the Harrison tacklers.
Back to a 1st and 10 that was. You just feel like at some point Ringer's going to get rewarded for the drive he's had. So many plays negated already. 2 touchdowns called back. I'm sure he's going to get another opportunity.
Yeah, that second one would have looked real nice on his huddle tape.
Yes. Oh, he's putting that on there regardless.
Maybe still put that one up
That's
there.
going on there regardless. 3 quarters in the books in Talawanda. Reading 7, Talawanda 0.
Ringer out to the right, was open for a second. Burton still rolling. Here comes a flag into the end zone, and that's in for a touchdown. It's Brotherton again.
And another flag.
But a hold against East Central is going to wipe off their 3rd touchdown of the drive.
I don't know if I've ever seen anything like this. This is incredible.
Can they score 4 on a drive?
We've turned into the official show tonight.
Can they put up a running clock on one drive?
The Stripes are flexing their muscles here on this drive. Can you go for 4?
Harrison's defense has been out there for quite a while. Here we go again. It's like deja vu all over again. Burton looking to pass, looking for the end zone, as Aston, and it's complete for a touchdown. Looking around, no flags, they've done it. A touchdown to Eli Aston.
Again, how many times tonight have we talked a 3rd, 2nd, 1st and long situation and you're giving up touchdowns down the field? You cannot do that continuously and hope to have success in the game of football.
Sam Chips now in, handling the kicking duties. The senior has his extra point blocked, and it stays 41-7. And that's big because
I believe it's big for the running clock situation.
It negates the running clock, Tony. So they put the backup in, the senior kicker.
Doomed from the start there.
And it stays at
41-7.
34. Wow, what a night it's been for the East Central offense. And Harrison, in 6.5 quarters so far this year, has put up 1 touchdown, and looking to just chip away at it here over the rest of this game. But with the pace of their offense, I know this is going to sound ridiculous with 18 minutes of game time left, but with the way they move the ball so slowly, you don't have a ton of time.
Mathematically, it's tough, and you have to now decide again, are you playing to try to win a game that in all likelihood you're not going to win, or are you playing for next week? Are you playing for confidence? And if that's the case, then you just stick to your offense. You get back to running the ball, see what you can do with it.
Herring back to receive, does at the 14. Herring looking for his seam, has some room to run, and he's tripped up at the 37. Good return for Cohen Herring.
Yeah, you've seen spurts of good plays for Harrison, but it's just been too many of the inconsistent plays that you can't win football games with. East Central has gotten away with a lot of those penalties because they do have the talent on both sides of the ball that is a little more superior at this point with these two programs.
5:40 left in the third quarter.
So it is a running clock.
So is it 30?
We were trying to get Reed Mouse to give us that at the half, but he hasn't figured it out yet. So we're now at a running clock. I believe it's under 30 or over 30 is going to keep that clock moving.
So it's at 34 right now at 41-7. A run on first down for Harrison, but up the middle. That was Herring again on the carry for 5 yards. Make it 2nd and 5.
Again, you're not worried about the clock. You're worried about seeing positive things happen. Running your offense, running your system, and gaining some confidence for next week.
Hand off to Herring, and he's across the 50, a first down and more to the 48.
Like what you're seeing from Herring here, a good strong runner, punishing style of run. This is the problem though, when you're not able to sustain anything. Ideally, this is the point of the game where Harrison starts to lean on those defensive linemen, but you just haven't had enough long possessions to wear this East Central defense out yet.
At 5'10", 160, sophomore. Cohen Herring. And Luke will bounce it outside, take it himself. He already has one rushing touchdown tonight. Nearly lost the football. It looks like he has enough for a second first down in a row.
A lot of success to this point with that quarterback delay, that quarterback power, misdirection that they've shown. And again, more chunk plays for this offense is what you want to see.
Clock ticking down under 3:45 left in the third. Rogers with Herring a step behind him. Off the left hash. Herring on the carry. Such a short gain after 2 successes. Not a lot of room to run, and now you're starting to toe the line on field goal territory as Landon Anderson begins to kick into the net on the sideline.
Harrison might have to use a timeout here. They're having trouble getting lined up. Still got 10 on the play clock.
Here's Rogers. To Herring, running right into the line, and a huge tackle made by Kingston.
That ball might have come out. And again, no second thought by the officials. I thought this was close to coming out at the end here for Herring. Looks like it came out, didn't it?
I think so. Right on it, Tony.
Well, eagle eyes. Read it. We got the use of this monitor, the replay up here. Makes it a lot easier. But another key third down here for the Harrison offense.
Yeah, 3rd and 7. Rogers right up the middle, and it'll be close, but it looks like he's got enough. A run of 8 on 3rd and 7, and it's a first down.
We're talking about the positives. They have at least found a positive in that. That power run over the right side of the line is giving this East Central defense a couple fits.
Inside the 30 to the 27. The clock ticking. 100 seconds left in the third quarter. Empty backfield for Rogers. Just haven't seen him pass it a lot tonight, but we were expecting that. run-heavy Harrison team. Now here is a pass out to the right, and the flag comes in. And pass interference against East Central will move this inside the red zone.
At this point, you just want to see confidence. You want to grow your confidence. Read out some of these passes. Don't predetermine who you're going to throw the ball to. Give yourself a chance to have some success and see some good things happen late in this game. I would venture to see at some point you're going to go back to that quarterback power here, with so much success coming from that on this drive and this game as a whole.
40 seconds left in the third. Hand off to Herring, up the middle. That ball got out. That one's, well, they're gonna call it down. It got out, but less than 30 seconds to go in the third, and that ball moved down 5 yards. 2nd and 5. First down marker at the 4. So be at the 9.
Probably going to be the last play of the quarter here, unless you score.
6 seconds to go. And whistles come flying in as the ball was snapped.
Just seen it countless times tonight, just shooting themselves in the foot in these critical situations. When they do get that 5 they need early, they give it right back with a penalty and bring the quarter to an end.
And that's the end of the third quarter, so we're going to step away, take a break on the Bartels Heating and Cooling Chatterbox Game of the Week.
Check out our fresh arrivals at Jake Sweeney Used Cars. Over 250 used vehicles weekly. All makes, all models. From economy to luxury, Jake Sweeney, the original used car superstore.
JakeSweeney.com.
Hold on, I'm coming. You didn't tell me you were getting McDonald's.
The steak, egg, and cheese bagel is back at McDonald's. Order ahead on the app and pick up curbside.
Where can you turn when you're in pain? Turn where more high school, college, and pro athletes turn. Where your neighbors and weekend warriors turn. Turn to Beacon Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get superior care on your schedule. That's the Beacon difference.
Leave untimed down. Penalty can't end the third quarter. And a hit comes in.
Now we'll have
we will have the end of the third quarter, as a penalty can't end the quarter. So now we'll take another break as we head to the fourth on Chatterbox Sports Game of the Week.
Check out our fresh arrivals at Jake Sweeney Used Cars. Over 250 used vehicles weekly. All makes, all models. From economy to luxury, Jake Sweeney, the original used car superstore.
JakeSweeney.com.
Hold on, I'm coming. You didn't tell me you were getting McDonald's.
The steak, egg, and cheese bagel is back at McDonald's. Order ahead on the app and pick up curbside.
Where can you turn when you're in pain? Turn where more high school, college, and pro athletes turn. Where your neighbors and weekend warriors turn. Turn to Beacon Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get superior care on your schedule. That's the Beacon difference.
Paul Fritzner, Tony Pike, Reed Mouse, Casey McCollister, Trace Fowler, everybody, the Chatterbox crew here with you today. As we get going in the fourth quarter, it's 41-7, East Central in front over the home team, trying to drive to get it down under 30. It'll be 3rd down and 5 to start the fourth quarter. Luke Rogers handing it off and dancing his way for a gain of what looks like 3 yards. It's Cohen Herring. And now, Tony, it's going to be 4th.
No brainer.
Very short, yeah.
Now we're going.
4th and a long one, maybe 2. You have to go for it here, no doubt. Gets the play call, and here we go. What are you running here, Tony?
I'm going back to the quarterback power. East Central has not shown the ability to stop it to this point in the game. Right to that right side of the line.
4th and 1. 2 on the play clock. And a timeout taken by Harrison, their second timeout of the half. That'll stop the clock with 11:02 left in this fourth quarter. Take a break. Be right back.
If your AC or furnace is struggling, turn to the experts at Bartels Heating and Cooling. Their certified technicians get the job done right the first time. And if you need a new unit, Bartels will give you upfront pricing with no hidden fees. Plus, ask about Bartels 0% interest financing for 60 months. Learn more at bartelsheatingandcooling.com. Bartels Heating and Cooling, for a comfortable way of life. Eli's Sports Bar and Grill, proudly sponsoring high school football with 3 locations in Mason, Liberty Township, and Ross, Ohio. Our 10-foot screens guarantee a great view from every seat in the house. Eli's Sports Bar and Grill, the best place in Cincinnati for sports, food, and fun.
11:02 left in the fourth quarter, and Harrison trying to punch it in. Oh, so close. DJ E-Train spinning it up down there. Great atmosphere. Harrison trying to give the home crowd something to cheer about in the fourth. Need a yard. Rogers, a pitch over to Herring, and he is hit hard right at the line. It'll depend on the spot. East Central thinks they held him, but Tony.
What do we know at this point? These officials have thrown us for a loop all night long.
Yeah, this is going to be very close. We might get a measurement here. It's right over there by the sticks. East Central is emphatic that they didn't get there. They're going to take a measurement.
I didn't know they had changed the map.
Looks short.
They didn't get there by a foot, maybe. East Central football. And a turnover on downs with 10:32 left in the game.
I've got a nest of spiders a mere foot away from me. I've counted 8. Looks like it could be a crossbreed here between a widow and a recluse. Reed Mouse is he's gonna do stupid stuff.
Just an entire brand of spiders you don't want to see right in front of your face.
No, it's not.
Reed, that's just nature.
Yeah,
taking its course here.
I'm not sure what Reed's trying to do here. I'd imagine that plate was going to fly at me right after that.
Saucer. Here we go. East Central. Flags coming in. And that'll go against the Trojans. Back them up. Half the distance. So from the 4 down to the 2.
Again, another coaching opportunity for both sides. Backed up. If you're East Central, your goal is to get 2 first downs here at minimum. If you're Harrison, can you force a 3 and out and get the ball back to your offense?
Less than 10 to go. The handoff. And that stopped in the backfield. No gain is you see Trey Omer on the carry. Loss of 2 on the play. It's just been all East Central tonight.
Yeah, they have shown just the balance, the ability to score. What was it, 4 possessions on 4 times on 1 possession?
There's Brotherton shedding some tacklers, and oh man, so close to nearly having another breakaway touchdown, but a good tackle made by DJ Clark. DJ Clark's not there, that's a touchdown.
Yeah, that Again, Brotherton, a huge night tonight. Adding on to it, getting him another catch there. The ability to not only beat the defender over the top as he's done, but the catch and run. Yards after the catch, a quarterback's best friend. East Central is going to be in no hurry over these last 8.5 minutes of this ball game.
Run up the middle, helmet came off. That's Omer on the carry. Ticking down toward 8 minutes.
One of the most talked about baseball series of the Major League Baseball season going on tonight between the Reds and the Washington Nationals.
Absolutely.
Reds leading 7-2 in that one.
My hometown Nationals.
Like this. Standing room only with that series.
Absolutely. Two powerhouse Major League franchises in 2022. Here's Omer. What's the score there, Tony?
7-2.
Oh.
Redlegs all over the Washington Nationals.
Two franchises with a lot of future potential. Is what you could say.
Yes. Future is brighter.
Yes.
Than what we have now.
Present, a small little flame. The future.
Yes. That's what we're building to.
Yeah, exactly. Play action. And he sheds one. Burton. The throw is incomplete. Out to Aston.
Great ability, though, from Burton there to extend the play, give your guys an opportunity. Something we haven't seen a lot here tonight, the punting unit for East Central coming onto the field.
I believe this might only be their second punt of the game. Take a look around the rest of Ohio. Mason up 21-7 over Hamilton. Lakota West up 47-6 in the fourth quarter over Lakota East. And Fairfield up 35-7 over Middletown. 4th and 7, 6.5 to go. Punted away. High snap. And the punt back to the 37. A fair catch called for by Cohen Herring.
The clock has actually stopped here. The change of possession. The change of possession.
Tony, week 0 in college football this week. Anything to look out for?
Yeah, Hawaii as a underdog in its last 12 openers, 11-1 against the spread. They're going to get 9 as they host Vanderbilt, like the Rainbow Warriors.
Vanderbilt getting a nice trip out of that one.
Yeah, you got the Dublin Ireland game with Northwestern and Nebraska. It looked like Nebraska, great travel group, Sea of Red.
Yeah, did you see those videos
Dublin
coming
earlier?
out of Dublin?
Yes, unbelievable. Of course, all eyes already moving ahead to next weekend. The true start of college football, and the Bearcats of Cincinnati head down to Fayetteville, Arkansas.
We'll have some time next week to talk about that, but any initial looks at that one?
It's going to both teams very similar. Good defenses, a couple questions each offensively. Which offense can put points on the board? Both of those defenses are going to be really good. Arkansas can run the ball. You saw that last year in the SEC. It's a big test for a team that gets 9 players drafted and still has big aspirations going back into this season, their final season in the American Athletic Conference before heading to the Big 12.
Cole Coops there on the carry. Bring up 3rd and 6.
The Fighting Irish later that night head to Columbus for a matchup against Ohio State. It should be a fantastic Saturday of college football.
Are you going to be at either of those? You going
to
Arkansas? Are you going to Columbus?
No, we thought about it, but in a game where the Bearcats are getting points, that's a long trip if you're unsure of the outcome.
Absolutely.
Be a long ride back if they don't come out on top.
They don't have the the Pike jet just waiting?
It's not fueled up yet.
Okay.
Usually it takes about mid-season for that thing to get fueled up, so we'll work on it and, ideally get a Bearcat win next weekend and see what happens up north.
Yeah.
Maybe put the pressure on the Buckeyes. I'm just happy. We talk about high school football being back in the state of Ohio. I'm excited. Kerry Combs back on the sideline for the Cincinnati Bearcats. One of the best to ever do it at the high school level here with Cole Rain. He was a coach when I played at UC, and now he's been so well traveled. Ohio State, Tennessee Titans. You think of Brian Kelly, Urban Meyer, Ryan Day, Mike Vrabel, the coaches that this guy has coached under, and now he brings that with his recruiting back to Cincinnati. So excited for Kerry Combs to get back, and so excited to the college football season to get back underway.
3rd and 6. Here's Rogers passing, flips it out, pass caught down the sideline. Nice play there to pick up first down yardage. That's Kyle Hayter. Under 4.5 to play. There's Herring, has the ball
now that
stripped,
ball
and
is
it's
out
on the ground. Harrison recovers.
All right, we saw that one.
Yeah, no doubt about that one. But there's another flag on the play, I believe.
I think that was just thrown for the fumble, which that used to be like a red or blue. It feels like this year that's like an orange, which is very similar to the yellow
It fooled me
that
from
they
up here.
use for a penalty.
Can we get like a purple or something?
Give me something off the wall.
Yeah, something out there. Spice it up a little bit. 3.5 to go. 2nd and 11. Big hit as Cole Coops tries to get around the edge. Making it 3rd down and 8. Ticking down toward the 3-minute mark here at
Fast
Harrison.
moving second half.
Absolutely. Hasn't even been an hour.
Again, one of those 3rd and long situations that this team is going to have to get better at converting if they want to have some success as the season rolls on.
Rogers looking downfield, steps up, has an open receiver, but it's intercepted. Tipped and picked off. Another interception for East Central, and an easy one at that for Chase Bellman, the junior.
Neither of these teams has been perfect tonight, but you see the margin of error for East Central is much smaller than what Harrison can do. Harrison, way too many mistakes against a very talented team. East Central has been able to overcome their mistakes. Harrison has been put behind the 8 ball on all of theirs. Fans finally starting to hit the exits here.
Yeah, the crowd has stayed pretty constant all night long, but now you're starting to see the bleachers empty out.
This is not going to be the norm for Harrison football. This is a rebuilding year. It's a growing year, an opportunity for a lot to come from 2 really tough games to start the season.
East Central can just kneel out the clock. How about tonight for Cole Burton and Ryan Brotherton putting on a show here at Harrison?
It gives this offense another weapon, one that we didn't even speak about on the pregame show because everything was on Aston. Now here's Brotherton, a 1-2 punch outside with this running game and a really good quarterback. And oh, by the way, they can defend as well. This is a very formidable team in Indiana that's going to compete for a state championship.
And a team that's right across the border in the state of Indiana, going to come away with the win here on this Friday night. In the war for I-74, East Central has now won 4 straight and 6 of the last 7 matchups.
Starting to feel like the crosstown shootout here. You know, you always rely back in Cincinnati right now. Well, look at the overall series, which is what Harrison continues to say, where they'll still hold a 2-game lead.
Yeah, getting closer. East Central with this win will be within 2 wins of Harrison. And it is
That'll do it.
Trojans night tonight. 41-7. The visitors come into Harrison and spoil the rivalry night. The visitors celebrate as East Central beats the Harrison Wildcats 41-7.
A lot of stuff to take for the Harrison Wildcats. East Central, the beat goes on, right? 2 really good weeks to start the season. You've showed a lot of diversity. You've shown the weapons. For Harrison, stick to the plan. Don't divert just because it hasn't gone your way for the first 2 weeks. Continue to work at it, and you're going to see the fruits at the end of it.
For Casey McAllister in the trunk, for Reed Mouse here to our right, and for Tony Pike, I'm Paul Fritchner signing off. We'll see you next week on the Chatterbox Sports Game of the Week presented by Bartels Heating and Cooling. East Central beats Harrison. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time on Chatterbox Sports.
If your AC or furnace is struggling, turn to the experts at Bartels Heating and Cooling. Their certified technicians get the job done right the first time. And if you need a new unit, Bartels will give you upfront pricing with no hidden fees. Plus, ask about Bartels 0% interest financing for 60 months. Learn more at bartelsheatingandcooling.com. Bartels Heating and Cooling, for a comfortable way of life. Eli's Sports Bar and Grill, proudly sponsoring high school football with 3 locations in Mason, Liberty Township, and Ross, Ohio. Our 10-foot screens guarantee a great view from every seat in the house. Eli's Sports Bar and Grill, the best place in Cincinnati for sports, food, and fun.